The Ayato and Raiden Shogun banners have just come out, and the information obviously is out there on Twitter. But the big question on everybody's mind right now is, should you summon? What is going on, my dudes? Mtashed here, back again with another Genshin Impact video, and today we are going to be talking about the Ayato and Raiden Shogun banners that were put out there by Genshin Impact Twitter, obviously, and if you should summon. Plus, I also want to talk about why these banner details got leaked right now, actually. So my big opinion on the fact that these banner details came out a little bit early comparatively, because normally we'd see these maybe 2 days before the actual updated version comes out, and the reason why is because it's Christmas. We know that the holidays are a very stressful time for a lot of companies, and I'm pretty sure that they only release these details so then that way they don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week until they get back in to set up the update. Or at least that's just an assumption, so please take it with a grain of salt as to why these banner details came out early. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, as you can see, we have pulled up here the information from Twitter. Big shout out to Genshin Impact for this. And of course, this is the Raiden Shogun banner and the Ayato banner, which there's no differences between them except for the 5-star units. So let's go ahead and first dive in to Sayu. Now, Sayu is an adorable character from Genshin Impact. She was introduced in I think it was 2.6 or 7, but Sayu is a Anemo healer and uses a claymore, and honestly, like, besides the fact that she's voiced by Lily Pichu, I don't really see much of a use for her, especially since in the next version we'll be getting YaoYao, which is going to be a healer as well. Not only that, but I think Sayu in general, comparatively to every other healer, is not exactly top tier. Granted, the amount of swirl that she could do with her, E is fantastic. However, I would say that she isn't exactly the one I would be going for when it comes to healing, and I think that's mainly what she is a healer. And you could argue with me in the comments, but obviously her burst says that she's a healer. Again, I've used her a couple times. I still use her today when it comes to traveling, which, her role makes it a lot faster for you to get to places, especially with her in combination of Scaramouche. But at the same time, I don't think that she's entirely worth it on this banner, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a thumbs down. No offense, Lily Pichu, love you, but Sayu ain't it. Let's go ahead and talk about Rosaria now. Now, Rosaria, we don't see in a lot of banners because, she hot. But in all seriousness, let's talk about her. She is a really weird type of DPS character. You could build her as cryo, you could build her as a physical unit, but at the end of the day, like, her actual cryo application is really good. I would say that she's very underutilized by a lot of people and kind of looked over. Plus, again, she's super hot. Before we got the thick mommies of Shinho and Yelan and all that, we had Rosaria, and they had to nerf Rosaria twice in the bust size just because people were getting a little too bricked up. That's the best way I could put it. But in all honesty, I think that overall the Rosaria character is fantastic. We've seen her in a couple of updates before, just as a side character or just seeing in passing, so I'm really glad to see that she's actually going to be in a banner. I think I already have her C6 though, because she's been out since version 1 of Genshin Impact. I can't remember exactly if it was version 1.7. I could be wrong again. These were a long time ago when she was first introduced, but I digress. She was there in year 1. She's still here now, and she's still a decent unit, so if you haven't pulled her yet, I would definitely say that she's more than worth it. Now, of course, let's talk about Kujo Sara. Now, Kujo Sara in tandem with Ayato doesn't really do much, but Kujo Sara is basically one of Raiden Shogun's best partners. Now, Kujo Sara is a little weird for me. I love her. I think that her aesthetic is dope. She's super hot. I love short-haired girls. I can't help it. That's why I love Rosaria and Kujo Sara. But at the same time, for me personally, and I got this comment before about why wouldn't you use Kujo Sara in tandem with Raiden Shogun? To me, I feel as though it takes a lot. I wouldn't say a lot more. It takes a little bit of a different approach with Kujo Sara than it would to just use Bennett, I guess, in a way. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with Kujo Sara. She's a great character. I just feel that she doesn't she doesn't hold a candle to Bennett. Hotness meter, otherwise she's super hot, but she's still a good character to summon for. I think that she's really, really good, and I wouldn't say she's a must summon, but I definitely say if you get her, hey, kudos. I think I only have her at C4, so hopefully when I get her at C6, which I'm hoping that I do one of these days, she will be a lot better. So that's going to be my thing for Kujo Sara. Now let's go ahead and talk about the first of the 2 5-stars, and we're going to talk about Ayato first. And if you watched my Ayato build guide, the previous video, I have my own opinion of Ayato, and I think that he's really, really fun to play as. The problem is that there's so many DPSs that outshine him now, and it's not to say that he's, you know, bad, but the fact that he was a late kind of arrival to the version 3.0 scene, like he came out in what, version 3.7 or something like that, but he was so late to the game that there was already so many DPSs that outshine him, including in part 1 of this whole 3.3, or sorry, it was 2 point something, my bad, not 3 point, you get what I'm saying. In the 2.0 section of this, wherever, same with Raiden Shogun, he was so late to the scene that he was already being out DPS'd by Itto, and Itto just came out and is still out as of this recording. So honestly, I think that if you're going to build a DPS, no offense to Ayato, he's really cool and I love his aesthetic, but Itto out damages him in the first place, unless you're wanting to run the Hydro Shotgun team that I normally do, and Hydro Shotgun's a lot of fun. I love using Hydro Shotgun, plus his burst animation and his E in general are really, really cool to look at, so you get the aesthetically pleasing stuff with it. But if you're going for just solid numbers, I don't think Ayato is going to be the numbers that you're looking for, especially since most of the DPSs before and the DPSs after are actually outpacing him, in my personal opinion. Now let's go ahead and talk about Raiden Shogun, because Raiden Shogun is very peculiar. Obviously, she's got a big fan base, and you could tell exactly why she's got a big fan base. She's pulling a 42-inch blade out of her boobs, dude. Like, you can't sit here and tell me that she's not hot. She's hot. We know she's hot. We know she can't cook, but she's hot. We understand this, but at the same time, is she usable? Absolutely. And I've grown to love Raiden Shogun more as time has gone on, to where I'm actually going to rebuild my Raiden Shogun to give her the proper respect, because she actually is very, very good with her electro application. She's got so many uses, and so many people have built her in so many different ways that her versatility is, you know, fantastic, especially in certain teams. I like to pair her with Yaimiko, one, because, you know, they're friends, and two, because of the fact that in tandem with each other, Yaimiko and Raiden Shogun are a menacing team. You could even put Kujo Sara in there, and it's just ridiculous on the electro application that you have. A mono electro team, I want to try that out actually, but I don't think it's going to be doing too much, because with electro you want to focus more on the actual reactions that you're going to get between electro and, let's say, dendro, because that's their best combo right now. So overall, let's go ahead and think about, should you summon? I'm going to start with Ayato first. I'm going to start with the Ayato banner. Now, if you take out the 4 stars, I would even just say that Ayato is not a must summon. And the reason being is because while Ayato is super cool and he still does decent damage, I don't think you're going to get any benefit comparatively to what you get with other DPSs. And I think that you should save your primos for someone else. And it's nothing against Ayato. I love using Ayato, but I gotta be real. Ayato definitely does not bring home the bacon comparatively to other DPSs. Now, Raiden Shogun. Is she a must summon? I'm really on the fence with it. And the reason being is because Archons are stupidly overpowered. Just like with Nahida, when I was like, must summon, must summon, must summon, it's tough to say no to this. So I'm going to say that if you have the primos and you're not saving for another character, summon on Raiden Shogun. Her electro, like, flexibility is fantastic. She's able to do a lot. She builds off of energy recharge. There's so many great things about Raiden Shogun and her kit in general that I've even showcased in a build guide previous, like 2 days ago, that she deserves to be summoned for. Plus, again, she's super hot. She's thick everywhere. I'm just saying, like, again, 42-inch blade coming out of her tatas. I don't think there's anything better than that outside of, you know, being crushed by the Coco Goat. I'm just saying. So the overall question is, should you summon? Absolutely. I think that you should summon for Raiden Shogun because she's definitely worth it. She's one of those few characters that I would even go to bat and say that she's worth the summon. Now, if you're saving your primos for other characters, I understand wholeheartedly if you say no, because I would say no. But as a whale who goes for every single character, I have to look at every single character, and Raiden Shogun is definitely one of those characters to look at, especially since, you know, Sword. Ayato, unfortunately, I would have to say skip unless you're really, really going for Ayato, which I do not blame anybody to do that. But that's going to be it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Guys, again, I've said this so many times before. Gamer subs, get it. You want it. Click the link down below. Use code infantry. And of course, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe. And of course, we will see you guys in the next video. Please take care and be safe, y'all. And have a very Merry Christmas.